Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantiham Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Pancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as it is, chapter 86, page 486, chapter 9, text 32. Yes. Word for word, Mam, He, Partha, Vyapashritya, Ye, Api, Syuhu, Papayonyaha, Striyaha, Vaishyaha, Tata, Shudraha, Teyapi, Yanti, Param, Gatim, Mami Partha Vyapashritya, Yepi Syu Papayonyaha, Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras, te piyanti param gatim.
Epi janti param gatim.
Mam hi partha vyapashritya.
Yami partha vyapashitya.
Yepi syu papayonyaha.
Epi shu papayonaya.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Te piyanti param gatim.
Epi yanti param gatim.
Mami partha vyapashritya.
Mami partha vyapashitya.
Yepi syu papayonyaha.
Epi shu papayonaya.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Te piyanti param gatim.
Epi yanti param gatim.
Mam hi partha vyapinstyam
Epi shitya.
yopishu papayonayaham
Epi yonaya.
striyo vaisyas tata sudras
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
tapiyanti param gatim
Te piyanti param gatim.
Mam hi partha vyapashritya. Yepi shu papayonayaha.
Yepi syu papayonyaha.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Te piyanti param gatim.
Te piyanti param gatim.
Mami partha vyapashtita
Viparta vyapashitya.
yepi syu papayonaha
Ishu papayonaya.
striyo vaishyas tata shudras
Yo vaishyas tata shudras.
tepi yanti param gatim.
Yanti param gatim.
Mam hi partha vyapashritas.
Viparta vyapashityas.
Ye pishru papayonyaha.
Epishu papayonaya.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Striyo vaishyas tata shudras.
Te piyanti parangating.
Yanti param gatim.
Word for word meanings. Mom, unto me.
Unto me,
He, certainly.
certainly,
Partha,
partha
O son of Pritha.
Sarvita.
Vyapashritya,
Vipashitya.
particularly taking shelter.
Particularly taking shelter.
Yea,
Yea.
anyone.
anyone,
Api,
api,
also.
Also.
Syuhu,
Who
becomes.
comes.
Papayonyaha,
Papayonaya.
born of a lower family.
born
One
of
of
a
the lower
lower
families.
Striyaha,
Striyaha.
women.
Women.
Vaishyaha,
Vaishyaha.
mercantile people.
Mercantile people.
Tata,
Tata.
also.
Also.
Shudraha,
Shudraha.
lower class men.
Lower class men.
Te api,
Teapi.
even they.
even they.
Yanti,
Yanti,
go.
go.
Param,
Param,
supreme.
supreme.
Gatim,
Gatim,
destination.
destination.
Translation. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination.
So, the Vedas give information that soul is eternal and he continues to take different births in the material world until he decides he wants to go back to the spiritual world. And taking birth in the material world means that one has a strong desire to enjoy matter, to try to please the bodily senses. And he gets his birth in a particular body, a particular species, according to his past work and his desire. And there are 8,400,000 species. That includes aquatics, trees, plants, insects, birds, quadrupeds, and human beings. And in the human beings category, there's 400,000. And some of them are considered less civilized. Some of them are considered more civilized. Depending on the degree of interest that they have in self-realization. Those who are very interested in self-realization are considered to be the topmost. And therefore it is said that those who are born, for example, in Bharatvarsha, that is considered an elevated birth, because Bharatvarsha is a place which is designed, is especially organized around self-realization. Bharata Bhumite Hoila Manusha Janmajar Janma Sarta Kari Kara Parupakar. So we see in Bharatvarsha, now the remnants of Bharatvarsha, formerly the whole planet was known as Bharatvarsha, the whole earth. The culture had spread all over the earth. Now it keeps shrinking as Kali Yuga continues, because the nature of Kali Yuga is not self-realization. So as one part breaks off, it gives up the Vedic principles. We see, for example, a place like Singapore. Sanskrit name, Singapore, means city of lions. It used to be part of Bharatvarsha and followed all the Vedic culture. Cambodia, Angkor Wat, the big temples there from thousands of years ago, they were part of the Vedic culture. But as they get separated from Vedic culture, they go more towards sense gratification and less interest in self-realization. So, among the divisions of human society, there are 4. Chaturvarnya maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasha tasya kartarma pimam vidyakartarma vayam. Krishna says, I have created this 4 divisions of human society. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. So to take birth in the family of Brahmanas means it's a very pious family. Brahmin family, they're in the mode of goodness. They're very interested in spiritual things. That's their topmost consideration. Religious activities, intellectual pursuits, piety, that means everything to them. Naturally, if one is born in such a family, the chances for self-realization are better. Because even before he's born, in that family, the family is performing sanskaras, garbhadan sanskara, and at the time of birth they perform pious sacrifices, getting the blessings of the Lord, offering their son or daughter, that this child who's now taken birth, my Lord, is come to this family so he can serve you, or she can serve you, and we will do everything within our power to facilitate this child to become your great devotee. It's like we get emails often from devotees asking us to please give their child a name, bless their child with a name. They want the sannyasis or the devotees, the Vaishnavas, to bless their child with a name that will indicate the future, that the child will be a devotee. They pray for the blessings of the sannyasis and the Vaishnavas. Please bless our child that he'll become a great devotee. Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan De, was a Vaishnava. And following the Vaishnava practices, he would invite guests to his home, especially sadhus, brahmanas and sannyasis. Every day he would invite no less than 4, and he would feed them prasadam. And after he fed them and made them feel comfortable and satisfied, he would say, please give me the blessings that my son, his son's name was Abhay Charan De, please bless my son that he'll become a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. What happened? He became a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Something was auspicious about what the father was doing. And the mother was always praying, performing sacrifices, austerities, penances, so that this son would become a great devotee. In fact, one thing she did, she would eat with her left hand. In Vedic culture, you're supposed to eat with the right hand. But she purposely ate with her left hand. And the reason was that one day Abhay Charan said, Mother, why are you eating with the left hand? Everyone else uses the right hand. She said, yes, okay, from now on I'll eat with the right hand. So why did she do that? She did that because she thought that because I've taken this vow, the child can't die until he asks me why I'm eating with my left hand. So in her own way, she was thinking, this will safeguard the life of my child. But you can see the whole family was centered on the fact that this child, that the duty of our family is to become devotees of Krishna. To be born in such a family is a great benediction. Prabhupada said he never knew meat eating, intoxication, gambling, or illicit sex throughout his life. When I visited South Africa, I was invited to come there in 1980 to inaugurate the Bhakti program there. South Africa at that time was under the apartheid system, complete separation between the black Africans, the white Europeans who had gone there and more or less taken control, and the Indians that had been invited there for about 100 years before to work on the plantations and in the fields. And poor Indians, mostly uneducated, came there to do this type of work. But they were strictly separated. So the devotees in South Africa were Westerners who first came there from Europe and America. But they found that the most interested were the Indians, because they were Hindus, but they had been kind of stranded. They couldn't go back to India. They couldn't go out of India. They couldn't go out of South Africa. They couldn't mix with the black Africans or the white Africans, so they just stayed to themselves. And the movement was having great success attracting them. So at some of the campaigns, they had tent programs. They'd set up a big tent, pandal, and thousands of people would come, all Indians. And so at the end of the programs of the evening, we would say, if anyone wants to join our training program, please come forward after the program and meet myself. I was starting the program, so meet me. And we'll invite you to come and take part in this 3-month program. So we got 21 people, the parents volunteered. Ages 18 to 28. And I found out with those boys, men, when they came to our program and they joined the program, they had not taken any intoxication throughout their life. They had not had any illicit sex in their life at all. Meat eating, they did because society had fallen. But you see that they had kept the remnants of the Vedic culture. Some remnants were there. And another thing I found out was there was, among the Indian community, there were no divorces on record, I was told, throughout that long period. They didn't know divorce. And even now in India, those of you who are from India, you know, if they're born in a respectable family, they don't take intoxication, no illicit sex before marriage, no gambling, no meat eating, correct? This is Vedic culture. Even the remnants of Vedic culture is so valuable. So to be born in such a family, tradition, is a great opportunity. Now in this verse, Krishna is saying, Papa Yonaya, even if someone is not born in such a pious family or heritage, even if one is born in a sinful environment, generally the environments of pious birth is to take birth in a Brahmin or Vaishya family or Kshatriya family. That's considered more pious. In other words, these are souls that have performed much piety in their past and have made some spiritual progress, and they want to go forward towards further spiritual advancement. And that's why they're given the chance to take birth in a Brahmin family or Vaishnav family, even higher, or Kshatriya family. Whereas the Vaishyas, the Shudras, the women, Those are births for persons who are especially more inclined for sense gratification, but still within the varnashram system. So there's different levels of desires of sense gratification. One may desire sense gratification in passion, or in goodness, or mixed goodness and passion. Those who desire sense gratification in goodness take birth in Brahmin families. Those who want sense gratification in passion, Kshatriyas. Those who are interested in sense gratification and passion and ignorance, Vaishyas. Those who want sense gratification in ignorance, Shudras, Sudra birth. And then there are lower than that, uncivilized. Civilized life begins with the Shudras. Uncivilized life means they're born to meat-eating families, families inclined for intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, etc. So that's what Krishna is talking about here. In the next verse, what's the next verse?
Kim
Kim
punar
punar brahmana punya
bhakta
rajarshayas tata
anityam
asukam lokam
imang prapya bhajasvamam.
Translation.
How much greater then are the brahmanas, the righteous, the devotees and saintly kings, who in this temporary miserable world engage in loving service unto me.
So he's covering everyone. He's saying, if you're born in the lower varnashram system, that's fine. If you're born outside the varnashram system, papayona, even lower, Chandala family, born in a dog eater, if there are dog eaters, to be born in a dog eater family is not an auspicious beginning. But Krishna says, never mind. No matter what type of birth you have, if you engage in my devotional service, you have every opportunity to go back to home, back to Godhead. So, when one takes to devotional service, his past becomes the past. It's not even considered anymore. Jati Buddhi. It's said that one who considers the deity to be made of stone, Vaishnave Jati Buddhi, or a Vaishnav, he considers him according to his birth, or he goes to take bath in a holy place, just to take bath, not to hear the saintly persons. Narakisaha. Hellish mentality. So in other words, one is not supposed to consider a Vaishnava according to his birth. Now he's a Vaishnava. Whatever he was before, it doesn't matter. Prabhupada tells a story about that. Because it's a kind of envy. And the story goes that there was two friends, they were speaking, and one said, have you seen our school friend? He's now high court judge. And the other one says, how could he be a high court judge? He was such a nonsense as a child. He didn't study, he didn't do anything. He was always saying, no, I don't know what happened, but now he's a high court judge. And the other one says, it's not possible. And he said, okay, come on, I'll take you to the court. He takes him to the court. See, there he is. He's wearing the gown. He's sitting at the head of the court. They say, all right, maybe he's a judge, but I'm sure he's not getting any salary. So the idea was Prabhupada was showing how one is envious. Another example is the logic of Nagna Matraka Nyaya. That because a woman went naked when she was a little girl, that she should go naked now. That's not good logic. She's changed, her body's changed, her situation's changed. If a little child goes naked, there's no objection. But if an adult woman goes naked, there's a big objection. So the point is that one may have been a dog eater. Shat karma nipano vipro mantra tantra visharada. A Vaishnavo guru nasyad Vaishnavo swapacho guru. If one has all the 6 qualities of a Brahmana, Satya, Dhamma, Tobacco, different qualities of a Brahmana, cleanliness, truthfulness, control the mind, control the senses, knowledge, etc. But he's not a devotee, he can't become a guru. But if one is born in the family Swapacha, dog eaters, if he's a Vaishnav, he can become a guru. So, Krishna consciousness is open for everyone. Anyone can take to it, no matter what their past or what their birth is, no consideration. So no one should feel disappointed that they can't become a Vaishnava, they can't be Krishna conscious. They have every opportunity. But we should understand that there's a system going on in this world. There's a hierarchy. It's like if someone is born in a human body, it's a better body for self-realization than the body of a dog. Dog can't chant Vedic mantras. If you try to bring a group of dogs, sit them down, all right, sit. There's a story about a dog, they dressed him up, they put him on the throne of the king. They put crown on his head and nice royal garment. And he was sitting there looking very regal. And some of the people think, I wonder if he's actually become the king. And then someone threw a shoe and he went and bit the shoe. Because he was still a dog. So to be born in a dog's body is not very favorable for self-realization. So we can recognize that. We can recognize that we have a better opportunity. It is said, Janame, Janame, Pita Mata Pai, Guru Krishna Nai Mile, Bhaja Hari Ai. in all types of births, any species, one gets a mother and a father. But only in the human form does one get Guru, Krishna, and devotional service. That's a great opportunity of the human form of life. Manusha Janma to be born in a human form. Durlabham, very rare. Rare birth. Now the humans will, a reasonably thoughtful person will agree with that. Right? We have a better opportunity for God realization. Wouldn't a reasonable person accept that? Compared to a fly, or a worm, or a little plant. If they're not thoughtful, of course, it's difficult to reason with them, but it sounds logical. Human form of life can inquire about spiritual things, about things beyond how do we get here? Who am I? Who's God? These are things that the lower species do not contemplate. Sometimes people say, how do you know that? I've heard that 100 times. How do you know that? Just watch them for a while. A dog, he's watching a fly, he walks on there. Then he takes a bone and he chews on it this way, that. You think he's just chewing on the bone and thinking about, I wonder who God is. And no, his thoughts are very low. And then if a female dog comes, he immediately goes and begins smelling it. So we know at least that the lower species are not interested in these topics. They're interested in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And many of the humans are also interested only in those things. So that is a disadvantage. To be born in such a family or environment is a disadvantage. But nevertheless, if he associates with the devotees of the Lord, doesn't matter what he is, he can be transformed. Narad Muni is called Sparshamani, touchstone. A touchstone can touch iron and turn it into gold. So a devotee like Narad Muni, wherever he goes, he makes devotees. Even hunters become devotees when they associate with Narad Muni. Look at Srila Prabhupada. He went all over the world. He went to America, where they were just interested in sense gratification. He went to African jungles where they are not considered very cultured or civilized. He made them devotees. He made the Americans devotees. The Russians, the Chinese, everybody. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam, Kirata Hunanda Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shumba Yavana Kasadayaha Yenye Chapapa Yadapashraya Shraya Shujanti Tasmai Prabha Vishnave Namaha. And there's a long list there. Kirata, those born in the Kirata, the African races, Kirata, Pulinda is the Greeks, Kirata, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Huna, the uncivilized Arctic races, Kirata, Punanda, Pulinda, Andhra, it's a part of India, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhir, part of India. They eat dogs, I'm told. Abhir, Yasa, Kasa, Chinese races, Kasadayaha, Kirat Punanda Pulinda Putkasha. Abhir Yavana, Turks, Kasadayam, Chinese, Mongolians, Abhir Shumbas, Yavana Kasadayam, Yenye Chapapa, and others. Any others addicted to sinful activities can all become purified by taking to devotional service, by engaging in Krishna consciousness. So the door is open for everyone. That's the meaning of this verse. And the next verse, he's saying, if all of them can become perfect human beings or spirit souls, what about the Brahmanas, the Vaishnavas, and saintly kings? They've already done so much devotional service. They're already dedicated to that goal. How much easier it should be for them. So are there any questions on the topic of this verse?
This chapter, which we've just become involved with, is entitled The Most Confidential Knowledge. But as we know, there are a tremendous number of Bhagavad Gitas distributed all over the world in many different languages. So anybody can read it, and they are encouraged to do that. So why is it called the most confidential knowledge?
It's an open secret. That sounds like a contradiction. If it's open, then how can it be a secret? And if it's secret, how can it be open? It's there. It's available, but you need to know the password to get in. So it's the most confidential knowledge, but it requires, the secret is devotional service, surrender to Krishna. But in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Jnanam, Vijnanam. He's going to give knowledge, both phenomenal and noumenal. Phenomenal means of the material world. In the 7th chapter, he describes Bhumir Pondalo Vayu Kamano Buddhirivacha Ahankara Itiyame Binna Prakadrastada. 8 material elements are separated material elements. And then, in the next verse, he describes Aparayamitas Tanyam Prakatim Vidime Param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yedam Taryate Jagat. Besides this inferior energy, there's a superior energy, which is the soul. Then he describes that all these energies come from him. The living entities are his parts and parcels. Most confidential knowledge in comparison to other aspects of knowledge given in the Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna could simply say, surrender to me, in one verse. The whole Bhagavad Gita could be summarized. But we like to understand things in a more thorough way. It's like we go to school, we take classes, we try to understand things in a holistic way. And as we learn, basic fundamental principles. Just like fundamental principle Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita that you're not this body. That's a building block for knowledge, for transcendental knowledge, for the most confidential knowledge. Starts off by explaining who we are. Because we're familiar with ourselves, we can understand that we're a person, we have consciousness, we have desires. So it's helpful to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by having the background of being a person and understanding that. And then he explains about the material energy. We have experience with the material energy. We know what earth is. So this way, other questions? Yeah?
So, the first verse made me think of, in the Vedic paradigm, between birth and death. So my question has to do with recognizing that when the soul is trapped in the womb, it is remorseful and regretful of all of its previous existences and its failures to serve Krishna. But is the karma already dictating the life that's going to be taken, whether it's male or female or Shudra or Vaishya or Brahmana, and there's no effort or choice for like a more sincere service to Krishna?
Choice on whose part?
The soul. Like I'm sure that the intention is...
Once you purchase your ticket for New York, you go to New York. What you do on the plane, you may decide, I don't want to go to New York. I want to go to California. But you can't do it on the same plane. You have to wait till you get done and get another flight, go back to California. So once you leave your body, previous body, your next body's waiting for you. Your ticket is set. So that's that birth we get. Whether it's in a Brahmana family or a dog family or whatever type of family. Is that what you mean?
So, considering that personally, I was born into a family that was engaged in all sorts of irreligious practices. Somehow, we're on this earth during the Leela of Srila Prabhupada. But I guess what I'm trying to grasp how it seems so inconceivable that I didn't have any concept of this more confidential knowledge about God and the Spirit, but now it's just all opening up. It's all been there. So
yeah, that's the mercy of the pure devotees. That's the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada gave some credit to, sometimes he would give credit to the devotees. You were pious in your previous life. Devotees couldn't imagine that, and sometimes he said, I created your good fortune, because devotees would ask that question like you just asked. How do we become so fortunate? Prabhupada said, I created your good fortune. And it's true. If one associates with a pure devotee, then he gets good fortune. No matter what he had before. So better to take it like that. We can understand philosophically that we may have done some pious activities in the past. We don't know. But to take birth in a human body, at least something's there. And we can be thankful that our families, although they may not have been top level Vaishnavas, as you say, they did the best they could, and they gave us this body and took care of it and helped us in such a way that when we got the golden opportunity for taking up spiritual life on the highest level, we were able to do that. So we're very thankful. And Prabhupada said that the parents of his devotees must be very good people. Otherwise, how could they produce such nice devotee children? So we can see it like that. Other? Yes?
So on this point that of the text, that even those of lower birth, Papa Yonyaha, I know for myself, I was also born in a irreligious family, doing all sorts of sinful activities when I was younger. And I'm just wondering about the comparison between somebody who is born in a family of brahmanas or born in India where they didn't do irreligious activities to the degree that an average American would. For the person who grew up in a sinful life, does it take more effort to advance in devotional service? Like, I know for myself, it seems more difficult for me to understand the philosophy and memorize shlokas and whatever else.
There's advantages, of course. Just like in India, even now, the concept of brahmacharya and sannyas is quite appreciated. They have gurukulas, brahmacharya, hundreds and hundreds of students. The parents bring their children there, cultured families. They want their sons to be trained in Vedic principles and performing sacrifices. Certainly there's advantages. But Lord Chaitanya has broke open the storehouse of love of God and distributed the contents to everyone without considering who is a fit candidate and who is not a fit candidate. Everybody gets the opportunity to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All the disadvantages of this age, Kaler Doshanide Rajan, Yasti Eko Mahan Gura, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Brajet. The age of Kali is an ocean of faults. Ocean. But there's one good quality, and that's chanting Krishna's name. And Lord Chaitanya has brought that. So, all past disadvantages are wiped clean if one takes to the chanting. And on the other hand, if one has the good fortune of being raised in the most pious family, most pious place, but he won't chant Hare Krishna, then he's unfortunate. He's missing that great opportunity. One devotee says, because I don't have a taste for the Sankirtan movement, Yamaraj is punishing me. He's taking the position of a person who's averse to the Sankirtan movement. So let's take to the Sankirtan movement and take the full benefit, the inconceivable benefit, and try to help as many persons to participate also in Sankirtan movement. Other points?
Whenever we were on Harinam the other day, I was mentioning to somebody that this chanting will be done in every town and village over the next 10,000 years. Now, that's something that we know is from the authorities, but for most people it's pretty rare to have seen devotees. But whenever we go in Harinam, we're encountering many hundreds of people just like that. So is it simply that if we're engaging fully, like you said, we're going to Harinam, we're chanting our rounds, we're doing temple program, whatever, is that it? Is that all that's required, or is it some ingenious schemes that we have to be creating to share more, to share?
Oh, Krishna gives the devotees many ingenious schemes. For example, Prabhupada, he opened temples, he opened farm communities, eco-farms, schools, restaurants. It all came from Prabhupada. Colleges, diorama exhibits, multimedia presentations. It's like, maybe some of you haven't seen our Fate Museum, first American theistic exhibition. It's dioramas, it's animated. So these are all use of high technology for giving Krishna consciousness, using records, broadcasting the sound, putting on dramas, artistic, having schools. When Prabhupada when he was in India, he would hold big pandal programs and they would have 40,000 people coming in a night. He'd have entertainment. Sometimes he'd do weddings on the stage. So he was making Vedic culture available to the people in a very dramatic and extravagant way, a very attractive way. So there's no limit. And Krishna came up with a wonderful idea how to bring Krishna consciousness. Bhagavad Gita created a wonderful dialogue, a perfect environment for teaching the absolute truth. I think it's time for RT now. Any other points? Yes?
If I'm talking to someone in the material world and I want to steer them towards Krishna consciousness, would it be appropriate to to say something like, well, if at first you can, try, give up meat for a week, if they're a meat eater, give up meat for a week or two, read the Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll take it to the next level. Or I don't really feel like, I want to necessarily bring meat eater into the temple, or is it appropriate to say, try giving up meat for a couple weeks, try reading the Bhagavad Gita, and helping steer them in that direction?
Maybe, but even if they are still engaged in those activities, Krishna's inviting them into the temple. And they're given the opportunity. In some temples they're not allowed. Like in India, there are some temples that those who are not from India or the Varnashram are not allowed to go into the temple because of their habits. But Prabhupada didn't approve of that. He said everyone should. Of course, there is some regulations about those who are allowed to touch the deity and to personally serve the deity. They have to be of the highest behavior, cleanliness standards and things like that. But those who are behaving nicely, they're coming in, they're with inquisitive, they still have some material tendencies or habits, but they can give that up. They can get a higher taste by association. So, Krishna will give the devotees intelligence how to bring others to Krishna consciousness. But if they taste prasadam, it'll be a lot easier to give up eating meat. And if they don't take prasadam, they won't get that higher taste. Sometimes, if a person takes prasadam, he says, that's it, I'm never going to eat those other things again. This is so much better than... So that opportunity we're giving by having our Sunday love feast. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.